Greeting everyone, my name is Mohammadreza MAZAREI, a PhD researcher at Staffordshire University. Although the title of my project is Interactive Storytelling for Virtual Reality Medium by Real Walking Inside Virtual Story World, I'm going to speak about the generic elements that give us the possibility to design interactive VR movies. This generic element comes from the nature of virtual reality medium. Let's say that the storytelling relates to movement, and the art of storytelling is the art of designing movements. It includes moving the object inside the story world as well as creating movement for the viewpoint, which is mainly referred to design movement for the camera. And the reason that I emphasize on movement is that movement creates duration. As soon as we fill duration, we make stories. And cinema is the art of moving picture, which an artist frames picture to convey dramatic contents. So, a filmmaker frames the movements and create an out-of-field, and the dialectic between what a filmmaker shows and hides proceeds the story. In this case, the generic element for creation is the snapshots, screened 24 times per second, and montage is the tool that enables a storyteller to make an expression that gives audiences an image of time. But immersion in a surrounded environment refuses the out-of-field. It is an immersive cinema. However, in virtual reality, the cinematographic consciousness generated by movements of camera is now replaced by the personal viewpoint of audiences who can observe wherever they want. Audiences' mind act like real world, and they use their natural perception to follow their story. So, this medium demands a new convention of montage to express the duration, because in this case, movements are perceived by our inner feeling of duration. In my first practice, I examined this change in perception condition, which was about the feeling of duration in an unusual situation. You can read about this research and its findings on my ResearchGate page and watch the movie using the link provided on my page at Beyond website. My main findings were that feeling of duration can be an indicator to measure the presence. While audiences immersed in a virtual story world, they refer to their inner feeling of duration to identify the non-isomorphic dramatic movements. It means that a VR filmmaker could control the expressive image of time in audiences by designing movements. So we can start to reconstitute new storytelling conventions by controlling the movement in space and time. However, my project enables audiences to walk freely around the movie scene and create their movements. It is about a movie without camera, an open world storytelling for cinema. This type of interaction that I give to my audiences create wanderer audiences. So my project question is how the actual body movement of audiences give them the free will to influence the story presented to them, or in other words, which element can help the designer to design the storyboard for wanderer audiences? The answer is the generic elements of designing interactive cinematic virtual reality, which is spatial-temporal coordination. It indicates how audiences interpret the story based on their spatial-temporal coordination and interact with the virtual world by their movements. And on the other side, how the designer gives audiences agency of wandering around different blocks of space-time and impose aesthetic values, the cinematographic narrative, through relating these blocks together to make the whole of the story. Currently, in this project, I'm working on designing a narrative structure that presents concurrent timelines and allow audiences to change their line of the story by re-walking inside the virtual scene and touching some part of the scene, which I call them time gates. Inspiring from MC Escher relativity, I'm working on a space with 3 different directions of gravity, in which audiences create their unique personal experience based on their spatial-temporal coordination. So I need to structure proper narrative patterns which are suitable for this space, give audiences compatible interaction possibilities to explore the story world, while considering the technological aspect of designing the virtual space so could be experienced by wider audiences with their headsets from their home. Nevertheless, this project still is about designing the movements, so I suggest you watch this experimental 360 movie. Are you ready for a walk? Let's go. You will experience how movement and narrative engagement can prevent disorientation, and find an idea about my approach to the problem of VR motion sickness and disorientation. I would be glad to discuss more the terms and topics of my research and investment on prototype and end product. Please contact me via Hopin platform or the email address provided on my page at Beyond website. You can get more about my project on my YouTube channel and my ResearchGate page. Thank you for listening.